All right, here's a quick intro video for easily one of the most interesting properties we've ever had. This is 8.5 acres, direct frontage on the North Fork River, about 800 feet of total frontage actually. And then it borders the Mark Twain National Forest as well, along its west and south side, and has access on a gravel county road, borders a county road, and has power on site, including a meter base, and it has phone as well. I mean, really, really unique property out here. Let's take a look at it. This is the MapRight program. It's an interesting shape. So it almost looks, it's outlined in red here. It almost looks like an arrow. Um, but here's the county road on the northeast side, gravel county road. The property is about 165 feet wide as you go southwesterly toward the river. And this part is basically all meadow with just a few trees. You then get to the river, and as soon as you cross over the river, it widens out, and that's where you're going to find that it borders the National Forest on the west and the south sides. I mean, pretty unbelievable property. Anything on the North Fork River has always been extremely popular, but within the last 5 or 10 years, it's gone from extremely popular to insanely popular. I mean, this is what everybody wants on the North Fork. Also, the National Forest as well has always been popular, but to find something that has direct frontage on this much of the North Fork as well as the National Forest is really, really unusual. Okay, there's so much to say about this property. I don't know where to begin. We had this leased out for a while, and now we've got it back. We decided to go ahead and put it on the market, give someone a chance to pick up a really special property. So I believe the people that were leasing it were staying here. They had some sort of camp set up here, and what you see here, this meadow area, well, Douglas County doesn't provide flood maps, so we weren't able to pull a flood map. But I mean, it's safe to say that anything adjacent to a river, I mean, this would all be called bottom field here. You can see that the map shows a house here, although I'm fairly sure that there was a big flood about 2 years ago. That eventually a tree came through that field, floated through, and that house is built on stilts, about 4 or 6 feet above the ground, I believe, and it knocked that over and destroyed that. Um, so I mean, you can build in this field, you can build in the floodplain because there are no permits required in Douglas County for that, but it's definitely not a good idea. And if you are going to build there, you want to elevate your structure substantially on concrete piers. The only thing I will add is that at some point years ago, right about here, someone piled up a big mound of dirt, several feet, 6 or 8 or 10 feet, I'm not sure, above the rest of this meadow. And if you just wanted a little place to camp or have a cabin, you'd definitely be higher there. See, the thing is, and I'm familiar with this property because we've had property in this area for years and years. This is what I would call the lower part of the meadow. Let's go to a topo map. This is already taking longer. I know some people don't like the long videos. Okay, so here's the river. That's the lowest part of the property. As we go up toward the county road, this is what I would call the lower meadow. So probably every spring, this North Fork River is going to overflow its banks because it's a real river, and water is going to get into this lower meadow. That is definitely common. I would not advise you to build anything there under any circumstances ever. You get into this upper meadow, it gets a little higher. Little different story. Now it's going to take a major event for water to get up in this upper meadow. But as we saw a few years ago, when this guy's cabin or house or whatever got hit, it does happen. It might be every 10 years, it might be every 100 years, it might be every 5 years, but I mean, you can certainly get water in this upper meadow. Also, you can see this is not a live creek bed, but the topo is right that there is basically a creek bed. It's not a gravel bed, it's just kind of an area where water can potentially run. So that's something to watch out for. But I mean, there is a trail that goes all the way down here, it goes all the way to the river. The river itself is beautiful. Now, this property on the other side is a different story because that rises up from the river. There's a flat area, specifically right about here. There's a flat area where you could camp or hang out or whatnot, and then it rises up, and there's another flat area on the top. So if you wanted to build on this 8 acres and be 100% high and dry, this is the spot where you'd want to do it. Now, the thing is, to get there from the county road, you'd have to cross the river. But wait, there's more. There is a Forest Service road, and if we back out a little more, maybe we can see that. Maybe it'll even show it on the street map. I'm not sure. It does not. So let's go back to the topo. Okay, so on this county road, if you are to keep going past the property, you'll go across the big bridge over the North Fork, go about 1/8 of a mile, and then hang a left onto this Forest Service road. You'll follow that back, and then there's a spur road that comes off that to the east. It's actually called 454A. Goes back to the east, and these maps were done probably in the 50s, these topo maps, and it shows that the road comes within a few hundred feet of the property. In reality, that the existing road or trail or whatnot crosses right over this southwestern tip of the property. We've actually personally driven to this area of the property several times, and the road actually keeps on going, goes down to the river, and it spurs off here, follows a power line where you can actually drive, and we've driven several times, to this section on the property, right down by the river. In fact, we've gone down with the tractor and brush hog and mowed it, and I mean, it's just this is really, really a unique property that you can get to the back side, you can get to the front side. It's got power already on it. There's power, including a pole, and I believe a meter box right up here in the upper field. So if you wanted to string power here and do a building site, I mean, the power's already on the property, so you could do that. At some point, someone had started some kind of structure up here years ago. So you'll see some rocks and different stuff that they'd begun moving around there. But there's some nice big timber over here. I mean, this is just... Where do we go from here? We can talk about this. Let's go back a little bit. So the shaded area that you see, that's the Mark Twain National Forest. So I mean, you literally have access to probably 50,000 acres of additional land for hunting and recreation and trail riding directly adjacent to your property. Let's go back to the street map. Kind of show you where we are here. I'm going to go way back. Well, let's do this first. Let's go back one more. So the North Fork River flows south right down here, a few miles south of the property, but not too far. This is Twin Bridges Canoe Rental. So that's a really popular canoe place in the Ozarks here. Let's go way back. Okay. So now here's the property again in red. To the southeast, you've got West Plains, which is probably the largest regional city. Willow Springs to the northeast is a little closer than West Plains, but it's quite a bit smaller. The North Fork River, by the way, if we look down here, it continues to flow south, and it creates North Fork Lake. But now here's a pretty good shot of the Ozarks. You've got Springfield, the largest city in the Ozarks, and certainly the largest in southern Missouri. That's probably a little over an hour to the west, hour and a half, by the time you get up to Highway 60 and go west. Branson is about an hour and a half to the southwest. Pretty amazing area. I mean, this section of national forest in particular is well known for white-tailed deer hunting, for turkey hunting. I mean, people come from all over the U.S. To come to this particular tract of national forest. And I know this video is getting really long, but I want to just go in and we'll do one more zoom in and take a really good look at this property. Oh, I'm going to give you the directions. Let's do it that way. We've always come from Willow Springs, so I'll give you direction from Willow Springs because those are the ones we know the best. So from Willow Springs, you take Highway 76 to the west. I believe you go about 6 miles. Then you go south on Highway 181. I believe you go 6 or 7 miles there. And then you'd be looking for a gravel road that goes to the west, and I think that's 278. Boy, these are terrible directions that I'm giving you. Yeah, that says 278. So you take that gravel road, and basically you'll go, I believe it's about 2 miles, and you'll go right on, well, this says everything's called 278, but you'll go right and you go down a hill. This is a fairly steep hill, and once you get to the bottom, start looking to the left, for the entrance to the property. You can also come in a little further to the north off of 181, and you can avoid this steep section of hill if you want to do that. But honestly, the best thing to do is get the free MapRight app for your phone or tablet. Just download the free app. They'll ask you to pay for a subscription, I'm sure, but you don't need the full subscription for what we're going to do, because we can email you the link for this particular map. And then if you open that email on whatever device has the app, click on the link. Do it when you're in an area with good service, and this particular exact map will pop up on your phone. Just leave it on your phone, and then when you go out this way, if you happen not to have the best service, it will still work, because once it's on your phone and has its base maps pulled, then it works off GPS. So just when you're in town, get this all loaded up, leave it on your phone while you drive out here. That's the best way to get to and to view the property. So that was much longer than I thought. But super rare tract. We are InstantAcres.com. So you can check out our website to see all the available properties anytime. If you found the video at all useful, please remember to subscribe to our YouTube videos. That's the best way to figure out the brand new properties as they become available. And definitely, if you go to our website, enter your email address in the upper right corner, I believe, and we'll get you on our weekly newsletter to also let you know what's coming up. And if you have any questions about this property, let us know. Sales@instantacres.com. We would love to hear from you.